Hello, everybody, and welcome to BC Buckets. I'm Matthew Bruner. That's Colin Mitchell. And Colin, the Utah Jazz are on the clock, and their pick is in. Colin,
Yeah.
where are we looking right here for the Jazz? I got a name for you. Cam Whitmore. Someone take the damn guy. Someone
Something
take Cam Whitmore.
pre-draft interviews must have gone awful and workouts must have gone awful because man, Cam Whitmore, I feel like the Utah Jazz are in a weird spot because obviously they were very good to start the start of last season. Then they kind of fell off. I think you take the best talent available in Cam Whitmore. There's not a whole lot else I can say. Let's see. Is he coming out?
I believe he's coming out. I'm just looking at other potential names here.
I mean, you get Taylor Hendricks is close to here on my board. I think I'm 7th on my board.
But they have enough forwards already. They have enough.
That's what I mean. Like you could do like, I mean, if you believe in Kobe Buffkin, Jalen Hood-Schifino,
I could see Kobe Buffkin going here.
You could maybe do a Case and Wallace if you really
I don't
really
think
wanted
people are as high on Case and Wallace as we are.
Yeah, we are really high on Case. I will say.
Again, I don't think Taylor Hendricks. I don't think they need a forward. I think they need a guard. So at this point, or not even a guard, you need like a. And Cam Whitmore can play guard because I think he's going to be able to handle the ball and create at a high enough level. I don't want to say create because he didn't have the passing.
Yeah, he couldn't create in college, but I feel like
numbers. Well, he didn't try.
That's what I mean. Like I feel like he has the ability to.
All right. Well, while they're on commercial, I went back to our board here, so we can look at the names in front of us.
Yeah.
Are they gonna take Kobe Buffkin?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
They still have Colin Sexton on the team. Like at this point, Lauri Markkanen is the centerpiece, kind of what they want to do. Obviously, like it or not.
Oh, I actually know who they're gonna pick.
Okay, well, don't tell me.
Okay.
Damn, look at you checking Twitter.
I'm scared of trades now. The Pacers Wizards scared me.
Just having Woj. Oh no, don't have Woj on. They're the ones tweeting the picks out.
Woj isn't tweeting. He's not tweeting right now. It's just Shams.
Okay. So again, I'm gonna just stick with I'm gonna guess Kobe Buffkin here.
Okay.
Which honestly, Cam Whitmore slide. If we talk about it, Mavericks at 10.
See, but I think like a Taylor Hendricks fits way more at 10.
More sense. Or Derek
where that exactly where they are, you need to pick the player that can help.
Let's stay on Utah for now.
Yeah,
stay on Utah.
Fair enough.
Again, you already know who they're taking, so it kind of takes some of the fun out of it.
But maybe not. Maybe Shams is wrong.
It's always that chance.
Always that chance. I like your Kobe Buffkin pick. I mean, you have to buy his upside though. I really like him. Obviously, he's 10th on my board, but you have to buy the fact that he's going to be able to do more than he did at Michigan. He finishes at a high rate. I believe it was 71.1%. Something crazy.
Super high.
It's super high. Super crazy.
I love his feel for the game. I love Kobe Buffkin's floor.
Exactly.
A key rotation guard on a team. Like I think he's a really high floor. I just question his ceiling personally, which is why I have him so low on my board. This is the first commercials we've had.
This is crazy. Liquid Labs.
I would say I don't know who else they could take here. Honestly, I'm still in awe of the freaking.
The last 3 picks have kind of been crazy. Pick. Yeah, that's kind of insane.
Still has my head ringing a little bit.
Yeah. Could you do like I guess people probably aren't as high, but like a Jalen Hood-Schifino in Utah?
Do we know the teams aren't as high on him?
Do we know what?
I think people aren't as high on him, but I think some teams might be really high on Jalen Hood-Schifino.
That's what I mean. Like I feel like he to me is like DeJounte Murray.
I like him better than Kobe Buffkin. Obviously, I have him much higher.
Yeah, you have him higher.
19. I think defensively he's a better defender than Kobe Buffkin. I think he has more. How do I word this? He has a little bit more off the dribble shooting ability than Buffkin does. I just believe in his shot a little bit more, and he'll get there with his shot. They're coming back now. Let's see if the pick that's been in. Who is that? That's Victor. What a guy. I love how this has just been a whole Victor Wembanyama draft.
Yeah, it really has been. They even re-showed the pick, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think you have to go with high upside for them, but guard makes sense because, like you said, they have a lot of.
They should have tanked last year earlier.
With the 9th pick in the 2023 NBA draft, the Utah Jazz select Taylor Hendricks.
Yeah. Interesting pick, only because of fit. And you have to buy the fact that he can do more than what he did in college. I think what Taylor Hendricks to me is a really, really good shooter, and he's a really good defender. I don't know how much more of that he can be. Like, to me, like my comp I have down is Jeremy Grant. Like I don't know if like a player like that
Let me go
with
let me
Cam
go
Whitmore
find
on
it.
the board is a player that you want to go for.
I have like ceiling type is Serge Ibaka to me.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
I don't think he's a good finisher. 51% at the rim in the half court. He can dunk the ball, so he can be a lob threat in some ways. But like you said, he just doesn't create for himself. And as much as I like the 3-point shooting, 39% from three, 41% on catch and shoot threes, all of that is great. And I think he's a really good defender. Like, don't get me wrong, I think he's a good defender. But with the Jazz specifically, I don't love the fit there. And maybe it's too early to worry about fit because maybe they just
No,
have him on
well,
higher on the board than
here's
everybody
what
else.
bothers me too about him is he's a tweener on the defensive end as well. Like he's not quite like he's not strong enough, I don't think, to really compete on the
five.
inside. Yeah, play 5. But he's like thin enough to where it's like you'd want him guarding threes, but I don't think that can be in his role in the NBA. I mean, you have to make sure that he's able to.
He's a help
gain weight.
defender.
He is a help defender, but he needs to be able to battle inside, I think, as well. Like I
I
feel like
agree.
he needs to be able to be physical against guys in the post. Yeah, it's interesting because, like you said, you already said gave the finishing questions. I don't know how much more he can be outside of what he is, and that I think he can be really good, but I don't think he can be like if Kobe Buffkin, you think he can be an all-star? Like I don't think he can be that. I think he can be just below all-star.
And I have some questions about his jump shot, even though he made so many.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not 100% sold on that the way I should be at this point.
yeah.
Rebounding wise, I like him. Switching, I think he's very switchable defensively. I just don't see the upside that I need to see right here when you have. And obviously, you'll get Jazz fans to be like, "Oh, he can play with Lauri Markkanen. He can play alongside Walker Kessler." Like, oh, I don't see it. I don't see taking him at 9. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. The Utah Jazz are back on the board, Colin, back on the clock. 16th pick. Took Taylor Hendricks last time they were on the clock. Kind of surprised us a little bit. Surely they're not going to take another big, right? I don't even know who's available here that they could take as a big.
This is what they're going to take. Well, I guess I don't know. We haven't been really hitting recently. I think they're going to take Leonard Miller.
That would make no sense. He's 6'9".
I love Leonard Miller as a player.
Okay, but this isn't who I love, Colin. This is the Utah Jazz. There's no reason to take Leonard Miller.
We've been talking about fits, and I just picked a player that doesn't fit. Okay.
Look,
sorry.
Well, honestly, you might be right because we've picked NBA teams have been picking players that don't fit.
Every time before we start this, you've been saying I knew who's going to be, and every time it's been Cam Whitmore. Are you going to say Cam Whitmore again?
It should be Cam Whitmore. There you go. Should be Cam Whitmore. All right. I don't know what I'm missing here.
I've just accepted the fact that he's not going to be picked.
I don't know what I've done wrong. Look, if he, no, I'm not even gonna say it. I said if he was gonna drop out of the first round, we're recording until he gets picked. Bottom line.
Cam Whitmore finally gets picked. That's the video title.
Look, Jalen Hood-Schifino's on the board.
I'm a good pick. That's a great. Actually, yeah.
I'm taking Jalen Hood-Schifino.
That's actually a good pick.
They
already got Taylor Hendricks. I love Jalen Hood-Schifino.
Jalen Hood-Schifino should be the pick here. I don't see.
I'm trying to think if there's another place they could go. I mean, like, they already got Taylor Hendricks. You could go maybe. I mean, maybe you could do
like Keyonte George.
No.
Brice Sensabaugh.
You could do Brice Sensabaugh. I like Brice Sensabaugh there. I like Maxwell Lewis maybe there in terms of a scoring guy.
Smith.
I don't like Nick Smith as a player.
I mean, I don't like Nick Smith either. I'm thinking of who they could potentially.
I mean, he's like 27th on my board.
He's very low on my board as well.
I mean, you could maybe do Derek Whitehead, maybe.
Yeah.
Problem is, I feel like you need an on-ball player.
He can be on ball if he's healthy.
Oh, if he's healthy, and that's what I don't know. Like if you can buy that he can be healthy. I'm looking at him as what he was at Duke. So if he's healthy, then I'd like that. But I mean,
Jalen Hood-Schifino is my pick here.
Jalen
Hood-Schifino, a close second.
Jalen Hood-Schifino is going to be a really good player in the NBA. I don't know why Cam's falling, but until he gets picked, I'm assuming that he's just not gonna.
We need a Cam Whitmore watcher, bro. I don't know what's happening. Who's after this? The Lakers. The Lakers are about to get Cam.
The
Whitmore.
Lakers get Cam Whitmore.
Oh god! Please, Utah, take him. Please.
If
Don't
they
let
get
this
Cam
happen.
Whitmore, that'd be crazy.
Don't let this happen. Yeah, I don't.
I think the Lakers are just sitting there like salivating, like we won't trade this thing, and like they got their hand over the trade button, and they're waiting to see if Cam gets picked.
Yeah. I don't see anybody else. I mean, they don't need. I don't think they need a forward. Like I'm not looking at Olivia Max Prosper. I'm not looking at. I think Derek Whitehead's actually a pretty interesting pick there. I wouldn't hate that at all. I'm just looking through my big board right now to see if there's anybody else.
Yeah, I'm trying to see as well.
I'm not.
We had him taking. This is before they took Taylor Hendricks, but we had them taking Leonard Miller, in our mock draft. But that was after like everyone else was gone. Yeah,
I would be okay with Keyonte George here too.
I don't buy Keyonte George though.
Well, I do.
You are the only one. You're in a small army of Keyonte George fans. It's you and Baylor fans.
Yeah, I was gonna say me and Baylor fans.
I'm trying to look through here.
I'm trying to see if we can. Here comes the pick. Let's see it.
With the 16th pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select Keyonte George.
All right. Keyonte George is on the board. Let's go. All right, let me start this. Off. Keyonte George. Let me make sure I get his notes up real quick. Keyonte George. Look, I have him at number 9 on my board.
That's crazy high.
Is it completely rational? No. But I've watched so much Keyonte George. I watched that Baylor team a lot last year. I believe in him as a scorer. I've completely bought into it. The same way I bought into Jaden Hardy last year, I've bought into Keyonte George. Now, I think he physically can get better defensively. I think physically he can get stronger driving to the rim. He wasn't efficient at Baylor at all, but that Baylor offense is kind of an inefficient offense when your guards aren't, seniors, Davion Mitchell and Jared Butler and those guys. Ultimately, he's gonna have to get stronger, but I actually like his passing. I like his ability to draw fouls, and the dude's a bucket.
Yeah,
the dude's a bucket.
He's a bucket.
He's a bucket, and he can be a little slippery on the ball. He can get by his man. I see some upside in isolation. Like, you're gonna give me comps. I'm looking at Jordan Clarkson. I'm looking at J.R. Smith. Like Malik Monk. I love that, and I think 3-point shooting is actually going to be a strength. He only shot 34% in college, but I think he's actually.
I love his shot. I mean, I buy him offensively. I mean, everything Bruni said, I completely agree with. It's the weaknesses that I don't like. I don't like his like. Yeah, they're gonna show really good highlights here. Obviously,
yes,
decision making for me is a really big one. 1-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. He's really bad when he's under pressure. Just really bad telegraph passes and things like that. Not only that, defensively. Now, we talked about Kobe Buffkin on defense and how he's good. He's 6'4", similarly to Keyonte George, but Keyonte George is a complete liability on defense for me. Kind of gets caught giving bad closeouts, doesn't really try enough on defense, and just kind of lapses. Now, whether that's not in the team he was on or whatever, I think that's something to be concerned about, because if he can't be able to guard 1 and 2, I don't think he can be Jordan Clarkson. I think Jordan Clarkson is a good comp.
Jordan Clarkson's stronger, yeah.
But I don't see the upside on the other end of the ball.
My response is, who needs defense? Keyonte George is going to be he's going to be able to score off his own dribble. How many players in this draft can we say that about? Not many.
No, that's true. That's true.
I think.
But is he going to see the court to do it?
Give him a couple years. Talk to me in 2025.
Okay.
I think he's going to be really good at that point.
All right.
Welcome back, Jazz fans. Taylor Hendricks, Keyonte George, first 2 picks for the Utah Jazz. Where do they go from here, man? I don't even know what else they need.
We did the same thing during our mock draft. We were just like, well, I guess we'll just pick a player that they can hit on, and that player's going to be Brice Sensabaugh.
All right, I got one for you, though.
Okay.
Colby Jones.
Colby Jones.
Colby Jones. I'm pretty high on him. I think I have him at
I am
29
not high.
on my
He's
board.
really low on my board.
I have him at 29 on my board. We're talking about a guy that can do a little bit of everything in Colby Jones. Very seasoned player, point guard potentially. Here comes the pick, so let's see what it is. But I like Colby Jones here. You said you like Brice Sensabaugh.
With the 28th pick in the 2023 NBA Draft, the Utah Jazz select Brice Sensabaugh.
Brice Sensabaugh, baby.
All right, let's hear it. Why Brice Sensabaugh?
He's a bucket. Like, watch these highlights real quick. You're gonna realize real quick that this dude's a bucket.
We did a whole video
on him just being a straight bucket. Listen, can go both ways. Is shifty. Shot 53% from the mid range. Shot 57% from the rim. Can attack closeouts. Not only that, he has a really big frame. He loves doing that post fadeaway. And then not only that, he can also be a catch and shoot guy. So he doesn't have to have the ball in his hands. Shot 45% on catch and shoot. Really good in transition. Really good at relocating. And his off-ball ability to me is really interesting just because of his size and his speed. And then he averages 5.5 rebounds a game, 18.9% rebound percentage. Love his footwork. Yeah, I don't love this guy as a bucket.
He is a bucket.
Now they have two buckets on their team, Keyonte George and Brice Sensabaugh. So, and both can't defend, which Bruni, I'm sure, will just go into. Right.
Well, I don't know how long we got. The Pacers are on the clock already. They've been moving in these picks. I mean, well, it's the Nuggets, but yeah, I just struggle. For those who want the full in depth, you can go watch our video on Brice Sensabaugh. But I do struggle with someone who takes so many tough shots. Ultimately, he doesn't create a lot of separation. He has to fade a lot on his shots. I don't like betting on that. He doesn't pass the ball great. Doesn't have great vision. Doesn't play defense. 2 meniscus tears in high school. Limited athlete. I just have questions about what he can do at the NBA outside of just being a catch and shoot shooter.
Right.
Those are my questions. I have Kevin Knox, Doug McDermott.
Kevin Knox is such a bad. I can't believe you comped him to Kevin Knox. I have his TJ Warren, but Kevin Knox is insane. That's just.
Yeah. So there you go, Pacers. I think y'all are done for the night. So, or not the Pacers, sorry, Jazz. Thank y'all for giving us content for these 3 picks.